Mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, but he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say, oh, God.
So me and Joel, bro, I got doing the head like that. He's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, touch me.
Here, is everyone saying, who here thinks a chick can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad Jones. 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think I'm going to practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Friday, September 27th. We are live here from our home at Indigo. I am dressed to impress. Just for you, Lloyd.
I was getting ready to say I'm the only one in the room.
Me and you in studio. Jared's going to join us.
He's here.
He is here. Jared is joining us from the beautiful Dallas, Texas. He is there for the weekend. Beauty of technology and the beauty of what we do is we make it work when it happens, when we need it to make it happen. We appreciate you staying with us and joining us, even though that we're a little bit delayed.
Pretty sure it's going to work.
Pretty sure. We've been working on some things, but we had to move the show back because of life. But we are here. We want to have a show. A lot to talk about. Obviously, LSU plays at home this weekend against South Alabama. Big game for the boys to go out there and work on some of the things that they need to work on before a bye week and before the game against Ole Miss. Obviously, can't overlook the team that you're playing tomorrow towards 2 weeks from now because South Alabama can put up some points. We talked about trying to bet the over earlier in the week. I have bet the over earlier in the week. I don't know what the over is at now, but it seems like that is the safe bet to do. And I don't like what I'm hearing there.
It works on Jared's end. Hold on.
Okay, that's fine. But we got a lot more gambling conversation to be had. Obviously, the mic'd up parlay is 4 for his last 4. The loss of first week, we won 3 straight. Working on winning 4 straight. I think that's good to put that in the universe and say that we're going to win 4 straight. That's the goal. We have the picks in. We've collaborated, had conversation about it, and we're proud and excited to talk about it and why we think that's going to win. Thursday night football, Cowboys versus Giants. Giants are kind of in the spotlight because of the Hard Knock stuff with Danny Jones and all the guys they got going, losing Saquon having the year he's having for Philadelphia, all of those types of things. The game last night, pretty entertaining. The Giants moved the ball down the field, just couldn't score touchdowns. Malik Neighbors looks like a stud, goes down at the end of the game with a concussion. Cowboys squeaked by with a win there. It seemed like they were trying to give it away to the Giants. I catch myself, and I don't know if Lloyd or Jared or anyone else feels this way, I catch myself rooting for Daniel Jones. I don't know why, but last night I caught myself, man, I really want him to do well. I really want him to win.
Soft.
What's that? What'd you say? I heard you said.
Nothing, man. Nothing.
But I guess I'm the only one that wants to root for him. And part of that maybe because Malik Neighbors is on the team, and I want them to be able to him to have a good year, which he's having right now. He looked great again last night. A bunch of catches, not a ton of, over 100 yards, but I think he had like 12 or 13 catches and like 110 yards or something like that, which obviously that's still a really good game. Couldn't get in the end zone. Cowboys end up winning that game and end up going to 2-2. So a lot of big conversation, college football conversation obviously tomorrow. Saints are at Falcons on Sunday. I want to get into some of that LSU conversation before we get into the gambling talk because I still have not, I'm proud of myself, still have not paid one bet on the NFL. Not one. And I'm staying strong. As long as we keep winning in college, I ain't sniffing the NFL. My fantasy football team stinks. They're 0-3. So NFL is kind of on the back burner for me right now in the betting world. But let's talk about this LSU Alabama. Our statistician, Lloyd,
Me?
came up with some more stats. Some more information about South Alabama so that we can kind of get more into this talk. But let's get into this beautiful Friday. Jared, I appreciate you joining us from your beautiful room in Dallas. How was the trip yesterday? How was the drive?
Drive was fine, fellas. Not much to it at all. Got here, kind of missed the traffic a little bit, so everything was cool. No big problem at all. Got up, kind of got going today. We got some things going on downstairs right now as they kind of prepare for the party and kind of put stuff together right now. I'm kind of being able to skip some of that. So I'm not mad about it at all.
What kind of party?
Here we are. Let's do it.
What kind of party?
Little surprise party. 70th birthday party. Surprise party.
Oh, well, does that person who's surprised, do they listen to the show?
They don't support the family.
They don't support the show.
I don't think he's listening today.
And that's okay.
If he is, he just found out.
Yeah, happy birthday. Is it his birthday? His birthday. Happy 70th birthday.
Yeah, birthday. If he is, he just found out. So we'll see.
All right, let's talk about this game tomorrow. We talked a lot about it throughout the course of the week. We've talked about the challenges South Alabama brings to LSU because of the offensive scheme and the points that they put up. And we don't need to get into real depth on as to like what we want to see. I think we've done that through the course of the year, but let's hit on it before we move into the gambling conversation. Jared.
Course of the year. We've been talking about
I mean, course of the week.
All year.
Course. Well, I know, but like this actual matchup. Did I say year?
Yeah.
Oh, course of the week.
Yeah, you said year.
But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. We talked about the offense. We talked about the things that we need to see. The preparations are kind of coming down. Now it's, hey, this is the game plan. Let's execute the game plan. What do you expect to see? Not want to see. What do you think that we're going to see tomorrow?
I think we're going to see them come out with a balanced attack. Like I talked about it again, I don't remember the exact numbers, but they've thrown it well this year. They've run it well this year, so they clearly believe that they can do both and they can move the ball how they see fit. So I expect them to come out with a balanced attack. We've kind of talked about already what I want to see, but this is a confident bunch. They've been good on offense this year. They've got some playmakers on that side. So if they can hold up front, they should be able to move the ball a little bit. So I'm expecting to see them be balanced. I'm expecting to see them move the ball. I want to see LSU keep the scoring number down. I want to see LSU with less bust and mishaps and stuff like that, and see them play a cohesive game together as a unit right here.
I completely agree. I think part of that, though, I think they need to establish the run game. I think they need to get the run game, but I think it needs to look differently like we talked about. I think that it needs to look more suited to the guys they have in the backfield. With that being said, if you go look at South Alabama's defense, their weakness in the defense is the secondary, is the cornerback play, the safety play, and the strength of LSU's offense as of now is the play of our quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier, being able to distribute the ball to all the receivers and move the ball down the field through the air. I think that's going to be I think that's what we're going to see to start the offense, but I think you're going to see a more balanced attack, and I think that they're going to try to exploit the secondary early on to try to get this thing going and then allow the running game to kind of ease its way in there. We talk about not forcing the running game and allowing it to come organically, and I think that's what we're going to see. That's what I think that we're going to see. I'm not saying that's what we should see. That's what I think. That's how I think they're going to, structure the game plan. Now, obviously, things can change if South Alabama comes out in some crazy exotic look they weren't expecting, but that's what I expect.
Well, I mean, think about this too. Just, the last 2 weeks we've gotten to see more Caden Durham, and I'm not saying that I necessarily think he's going to start, per se. If he does, it'll just feed into what I'm saying a little bit more, but I'm not sure I'm sitting here saying that I think he's going to do that. But for the sake of it, we've seen them come out and try to stretch the ball horizontally. We've seen them last game really start trying to push the ball down the field early, and they were successful doing it. Don't be surprised if you see them try to give the ball to Caden Durham early and establish it early this game, knowing that or thinking that in the back of their mind, we can beat this team, but if we can find another way to be successful early and kind of dominate and take over and control the game early, how about we find that this game before we have a week off and then we go play in the biggest game of the young season so far. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out and if he gets in there early and see if they can give him some early run and see if they can kind of get that part of the game going early.
Lloyd, what do you think?
Because we know they can do the other side of it.
I think South Alabama, after doing some digging and looking into this football game, I have all these notes highlighted, perforated, underlined, bolded, all the things.
You did good.
All the things.
Good.
It's like a book report.
I'm proud of you.
But South Alabama's defense, not as bad as people think. You take away the North Texas game, they gave up 52. They've allowed just 51 points in the last 3 games, Ohio, Northwestern State, Appalachian State. But, as you said, the weakness of South Alabama is their cornerback play. So as much as LSU fans want to see LSU get the run game going, I think if you want to be able to start fast and attack early and get up early, it might be through the air and through the passing game, especially with Jared, say it with me, Chris Hilton is
probable. What are you waiting?
Is he active?
Probable.
He's probable. Wow, big delay.
I don't even know what probable means anymore. I thought it was just literally just look questionable or doubtful. Like, are you going to play or I'm not exactly sure what probable means at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and, in my mind, I'm penciling him in. He's getting some snaps.
Listen, I hope he does play. I hope just for the sake of the conversation and to watch him out on the field, and because I really do think he gives us an added dimension, helps. What I'm excited to see, because I don't know how we're going to see it, what it's going to look like, is Gio Perez, the quarterback for South Alabama, is a guy who can beat you with his legs. I'm excited to see how they are going to be able to defend that, or how they're going to defend, not able to, but how they're going to attack that without Harold Perkins in the lineup. Obviously, first game without Harold Perkins, with him going down with an ACL. How are they going to replace that type of ability to spy or contain the quarterback from getting out of the pocket? It's going to be an interesting case study because you play a lot of quarterbacks down the line that can run. Oklahoma's new freshman quarterback, obviously it's the last game of the season, so that could be changed by then. But he can run. Jalen Miller runs. Jackson Dart can run. The kid over there at Arkansas can run. So it's going to be interesting to see what they look like containing some of these running quarterbacks without Harold Perkins in there. That's what I'm excited to see, and seeing how they structure that.
Successful and consistent run fits, I think, is important. Look, at the end of the day, would I like to see him stop the quarterback run? Of course I would. But I think there's also somewhat of a progression, and obviously you're missing the guy who you're used to being able to play the star or being able to play the spy, if you will. He's not here. So if they were to pop a couple big quarterback runs, whether it's designed, actually not whether it's designed, if it's like scramble type stuff, I honestly wouldn't be that surprised in that situation. It is literally, for me, it's the design and or traditional, if you want to call it that, run game that I want to see them be dominant on. Honestly, I want to see them turn a new leaf and kind of bring to that side and basically show them, hey, like, you're not running a rock on us like that, bro. So go ahead and figure out something else you have to do, because it's not happening on the ground. Like, I want to see if they can bring that element to this game.
I also want to see them play a little bit better and more efficiently defensively in the first half, right? The adjustments to the second half have been good. They've done the things they needed to do to stiffen up and tighten up defensively. I want to see what they can do in the first half and say, hey, we don't have to. Let's not go into halftime saying we have to make all these adjustments. Let's go into halftime and say, hey, let's go, boys. Keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep them off. Let's keep them out of the end zone. That type of thing. So I want to see what that looks like and see if they're kind of. Brian Kelly talked last week about having a sense of urgency and starting fast offensively. I want to see them have a sense of urgency and start fast defensively this week.
Yeah, I like that. Lloyd, what you got? What you think on that, Lloyd?
As much as you want to see LSU start fast, I feel like that's the stat guy today, but that's okay. It feels like a little bit of a demotion. I feel like a bit of a nerd.
Who demoted you?
You did. You called me stat guy.
No, I said statistician. That's
worse. That is so much worse.
That's just
worse.
That's just an added hat that you have. The producer,
I'm taking that
character.
one.
The statistician means you're smarter than everybody else here.
You sound like a pencil
You're
pusher.
No. You gave us good in. We needed that.
You see a pocket protector?
We needed all that.
I'm beltless. Not another notch on your belt.
You're the new age statistician.
That's right.
It changes.
South Alabama comes to the game, number 9 in the country in scoring, 48 points a game.
As he gives stats.
Well, there we go. I'm putting that hat back on. But you have to factor in the 1,000 points they scored against Northwestern. I'll continue to beat the drum and just disband the program. But number 13 in total yards at 504 yards a game and 20 in rushing offense with 286. That's what your LSU's concern should be. Moving back to the 4-2-6 or 4-2-5. Excuse me. Yeah,
12. That'd be great.
We're playing with 12 with Harold Perkins in our memory.
There you go.
Playing with 13 with Jaquelin Roy's in our memory.
Hey.
So moving back to the 4-2-5.
Jacoby and Guillory, but
What did I say?
Roy.
Oh, we need him back.
That'd be great to have him back.
But with those guys missing and how LSU has continued to give up kind of bust in the run fit, it does mean that Major Burns is probably moving back to the star, and they have moved Kylan Jackson, the redshirt freshman. That was a huge get, 4-star recruit, aggressive safety. He's going to play some in that position, but moving back to the 4-2-5, in my mind, makes sense. It's what they're most comfortable with.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we're making a little too much of actual defense that we are playing and or not playing. I think it's pretty obvious when they started making the Weeks move that they're playing what they feel is their best 11. And if that means it's going to be one more in the secondary or one more in the second level, that's what they'll do. So I think obviously when you have to exit Harold Perkins out of that lineup, for them, they feel like the next best up is somebody else that's in the secondary. I personally think that that's what they're doing. Not necessarily saying like, hey, we want to play the 4-2-5 or we would like to play the 4-3. I think they're literally saying, who is our best 11? Let's run like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Jared, can you do me a quick favor and close that blind? I'll take you off the screen.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, keep giving takes.
No, this is great. Look at that now. Boom. Now the glare's off.
There we go. I don't know if we'll be able to see Jared.
No,
now.
I agree with you 100%, Jared. Like, I think that we have talked about it. We've talked about the move of the defense because that's what they did against USC before they moved Harold into the quote-unquote star position. But I'm with you, and good teams do that.
Right.
Hey, this is what we want to do, but this may not be what we're going to be able to do this year to make us the best team that we can be. So I think they're still trying to figure that out, especially now with Harold out. So I agree with you. I think that's going to be a good thing. I want to see Aaron Anderson also continue to keep that momentum, continue to see how they utilize him, if they're going to continue to utilize him down the field. And what does that mean when Chris Hilton comes back?
That was going to be my question.
Right? When Chris Hilton comes back and he is the guy. Now, granted, Chris Hilton's not going to have a full workload first game back. I don't believe that, right? And so I think Aaron Anderson has definitely worked his way into a prominent role in the offense. But what's going to be the situation if they're trying to use Aaron Anderson? He's successful going down the field like he has been the last couple of weeks. What's going to be the utilization of both of those guys, and is that going to affect the offense one way or the other?
I think what's funny about Aaron, man. Like I think he did a ton of it. Obviously in high school, he was known as a deep play guy, and that's what he does. And he's come into this year being able to be someone that they can push the ball down the field to. And I'm not saying that Chris Hilton is or isn't better than him at being able to stretch the field, but what I do think is because Aaron is so dynamic with the ball in his hand, you may see a couple more throws or opportunities for him at behind or right in front of the line of scrimmage, simply because you now added another piece that can stretch the defense a little bit. So I do think it's going to open it. So I think with the addition of Chris Hilton, you may be seeing more touches come Aaron Anderson's way, simply because you can kind of work the ball into him in different spots a little bit more now.
I agree. I think, we've talked about the over-under 65 points. I like the over in this game. You send in your bets. And you like LSU minus 21. You like the spread.
I do. Yeah, I like the spread on that one. Obviously didn't put that one in the parlay we'll give up here, but I like that one. And it's one that I not only do I think it's going to happen, but like I'm rooting for that to happen, because I need to see this team kind of put on a show where they start arriving, if you will. It's the weather's starting to get a little cool. Not so much yet.
Hey, weather's no. Weather was great this morning.
That's why Mikey's all perky. The retriever's out.
First off, time out. When I say the weather's getting cool, it's no longer the first thing in the morning. Like I need some at least midday where it ain't 93 and you're just like, good God.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's about the time where I'm like, all right, weather's getting cooler. So it's not necessarily there yet, Baton Rouge. It's coming. It's not there yet, but like
it must be in Dallas.
When the weather starts getting cool and the sun starts rising a little later, that's about the time when this LSU team starts to kick up a little bit, and it's damn near getting there. So I'd like to see this thing kind of start going right now.
Lloyd, what do you like? So do you like the 21 points and the over? Do you like one or the other?
I do not like the 21 points as of now. I would not be surprised to see it.
Lloyd thinks we're on upset alert.
I don't think we're on upset alert. I did put in the YouTube tag for a little little fodder for the people scrolling through YouTube looking for an LSU show maybe at 3 in the afternoon. Yeah. Or maybe like, oh, are we? I should click on this and watch. Yeah. And then find out, no, they're not.
Oh, so you lied to me, Lloyd. You told me you liked the 21. You wouldn't bet on it. Okay, I see what
I just wouldn't bet it.
Okay.
But what I do like is LSU minus 3.5 in the third quarter, and LSU second half, I believe it's 11.5. So
that's not what we talking about, man. We ain't talking about no damn props right now.
Lloyd's trying to show that he's a sharp.
Yeah. I had to get my take out there.
That's what he's trying to do.
But I do, if there's one thing that I want to see, I'm interested to see how many snaps Chris Hilton does get. If he does play, I think it's a perfect kind of soft opening, soft launch for him to kind of get right for Ole Miss, because you want him to be able to test it against South Alabama and know he can play on it against Ole Miss.
Wait, time out. I got a question there.
Uh-huh.
How on earth do you test it against South Carolina?
South Alabama.
Against South Alabama in a way that you wouldn't be testing it against Ole Miss.
Oh, I think you want to.
Is he supposed to run that goal a little bit harder in this game?
I think he wants to.
How's that?
You want to be able to believe that you can do it. He hadn't played in the game yet. Practicing games are different. Rehab and games are different. I want to see what he looks like when it's full glow and the bullets are flying. That's why you go to basic training. You don't just go straight to war. You got to see if I can do this thing for real.
Oh, so you're saying not necessarily that he's going to play differently in each game. It's just nice to get the first game out the way.
Yeah, get that thing out the way, and like, okay, I feel good about myself out there.
Yeah, but the way you worded it, I'm just like, wait, time out. No, I need whatever effort was going to be coming. Yeah, I need him to be the same.
Yeah, exactly. Go 100. But that's what I think will be interesting, and how they divvy up who they put where. And I think Aaron Anderson behind, like, you can't take him or Xavier Thomas off the field really at this point. They've been a big part of your offense, especially Aaron Anderson.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to see is what the defense looks like without Harold Perkins, and how they kind of try to stop the quarterback that's gone for over 1,000 total yards. I think he's tied for second in the country with 8 touchdown passes and no picks. So, like, you're presented with a real challenge for that. They can run the football and a quarterback that's pretty dynamic.
And that's being out of a game.
Yeah, that's without a game.
That's being out of a game. No doubt.
They level out with the Northwestern State game.
Yeah. No doubt, dude. I mean, I think it's gonna be it's a very it's a good challenge. It's not a challenge where you're like, oh, I don't want to say that, because anything can happen in football.
It's a much better at this point. from where we are today to where this thing was before the season started, it is a much better scheduled contest than we thought it would be before the season started.
No
I think
doubt.
we can all agree on that.
No doubt. But it's not the best scheduled contest this weekend.
Real quick.
Oh, no, you're going to keep it in there. Let's keep
More
it there.
More stats.
More stats.
Wow, this is another
Stat guy.
Another
Stat boy.
I'm never doing this again. Another good reason why it's a better competition than people think. 28 FBS transfers, 9 from SEC schools.
There you go.
So Major Applewhite knows where to go
There's
to
some
pick
talent
them.
there.
Yeah. So he's bringing in the guys. He's doing what you're supposed to do in the transfer portal if you're a smaller school. Hey, let me go here.
Get a
We're
couple
gonna
kickbacks.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be an interesting game. It's an intriguing game to watch. It's not one of those throwaway games you're like, oh, we don't have to worry about it. Similar to like what a Nichols felt like. This doesn't feel like a Nichols game. This feels like, all right, hey, we're actually going to learn some things
See
about
what
the
Nichols
guys.
has been up to.
This, I'm kind of scared.
I know. This is going to make my opinion. Oh, they got beat by Tech.
How bad?
25-17. I mean,
Okay, so they scored the same amount of points.
yeah, 21
No,
against
they
LSU.
scored less points. You're right.
Mm.
Okay,
But
anyway.
like I said, second half defense, I think, is going to be the real reason LSU is. If they do struggle early on, it's because they have kind of a potent offensive attack. Seen Blake Baker make the adjustments, which is why I love third quarter 3.5, second half 11.5.
All right. I don't mind those. The big game of the weekend is Georgia, Alabama. I don't think
Nuss might throw for 1,000 yards.
Nuss?
Yeah,
Maybe.
500, 5 touchdowns.
1,000, huh?
That's what you're saying?
Nah, he won't be.
You saying they're going to throw the ball enough to
I
throw those
look, I will say this.
500 yards?
I will say this. In this game, you got to imagine, hey, look, you got to imagine, too, with a bye week to truly get right, if they – this might actually play against my thought of the 21, but if they get in a spot where they feel comfortable, I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of pull some players out of there early, knowing that we have a big one coming and we want to make sure that we're right for this big one, as opposed to letting somebody run into a late injury that we actually need next week. So that might actually go against my 21 pick as well.
So you think South Alabama is going to backdoor?
It's not the parlay, so I don't really,
Yeah, and
You think South Alabama is going to backdoor the 21? Like LSU may be up by enough to where they take the
It's
guys
possible.
out, and that South Alabama ends up
Yeah, I
scoring
mean, it's
late.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I do think that that's possible. I mean, like we said, we know this offense can score. So how long, if they get up and they play like we hope they can play, or like we want them to play, how long are they going to keep those starters in? How long are they going to keep doing that?
Yeah, that
And
hurts
you
your-
know this
that
team
hurts
can
about
score.
us
They're not gonna be
500.
pulling starters at that point.
Yeah, that hurts your 505 tuds, Lloyd.
354. 350,
Oh,
4
look, that's
touchdowns.
way more realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to see him throw for 300, and I would like to have a 100-yard rush. It would be amazing.
Probably combined.
No. I want 100. No, that
Mikey
doesn't.
loves a good.
Mikey loves a big round number.
That's a big round.
No, over 100 yards. I mean, 350. I'd rather see a rusher go for over 100 yards than Nuss throw for 400.
What is the obsession with the?
I don't care. Honestly, you know why I don't care about that? Because like we always gonna have one quarterback in the game. If we got 3 dudes that put up 175, I'm cool.
Okay, that's
with
true.
Because
That
lets me
makes
know
sense.
that,
That's what
hey,
you're
we
saying.
still getting it done on the ground. I don't give a damn who
No,
gets
you're
it on
right.
the ground.
You're
Just
right.
give
That's a
me
good
the
point.
total on the ground.
Give me the yards.
Because here's the thing. Like, say if we even get 95 from one of the backs, and all of a sudden Nuss was able to pop 25 in there. Like, are
Right.
you sitting here saying we weren't very good on the ground?
No,
I don't.
I'm with you.
So like, I don't care who gets it.
I agree with that. Okay. To your point, I'd like to have a combined rushing total of like over 120 yards.
There we go. Hey,
Not
There
one.
you go.
look,
All
the-
right. There you
Not
go.
one guy get 100, but if you're gonna have everybody chip in,
everybody
like,
eat.
102 yards rushing isn't something that's like, oh yeah, we did good today. We ran for 102 yards. Like that's not something that you want to be able to assert that. Yeah, I like that. Y'all are laughing at me. He said 500 yards and 5 touchdowns to start the show.
Hey, Mr. 1,000 yards
Hey,
receiving
how's
tight
that?
end.
Looks good right now. On pace.
He'll never let you live that down. He's gonna be on you forever.
On
For the rest
pace.
of your
I hope
life.
until he hits it.
He's gonna come back and do it.
Until he hits it. He's on pace.
Is he on pace?
Hey, Mason will be 2 years in the league. And he might be like, see, I told you.
He's on
I
pace for
told you
like
this is what he
750
can
or
get right
something.
now.
Mikey's gonna draft him in fantasy next year in the 3rd round.
I need a tight end. I need a tight end right now.
Hey, if you need a tight end, I got a tight end. Come talk to me. Holla at me.
No, I don't need one that bad. I don't need one that I'm gonna trade for. I'm not gonna trade for a tight end. But what I've been trying to get to, are you going more stats?
Hold on, I just want to see what the carries are for all of the running backs, how many touches they've all gotten. So I'll let you know whenever I have it pulled up.
Oh, okay.
Who's theirs or ours?
LSU.
He's talking about LSU's.
So you have.
Oh.
They said Nuss has ran it 4 times. They're counting sacks. So that's incredible. He's been sacked 3 times because he only has 1 run. But 36 carries for Josh Williams, 22 for Caden Durham, 26 for Caleb Jackson.
Right.
And I would be remiss to not say 10 for John Emery.
And
RB1.
you have, 2 or 3 for Xavier Thomas?
You have 2 carries from Xavier Thomas
thought
for
you had
17
I
yards.
thought you had more than that.
I know. That's what's crazy. Every time he does it.
But he's gotten pop. Well, he's
The
gotten pop passes
pop
too.
passes
so.
too. Yeah, right. How what's
Those count as passes.
What's Mason Taylor's numbers look like?
Mason Taylor, 25 catches for 237 going into game 4. So right on pace.
For 750.
He's got 25 catches right now.
For
I would have never
750.
thought that.
Leading has the most catches on the team. Aaron Anderson with 21. Kyron Lacey with 20. I think it's going to be a huge Kyron Lacey game.
So this is game 4, right?
You asking?
This is game 4 right now.
No, it's game 5.
No, it's game 5 right now. It's game 5 right now. How many yards does he have receiving?
237.
237? Really? That's it?
230.
That's wrong. Is that right? 237?
I mean, take it up with ESPN
Okay.
stats and
All right,
info.
all right. So that's roughly 60 yards a game.
And you got, I mean, if they go to the playoff,
Hold on.
you got 8 games left.
720 is
This
12
man
is
is
60
doing
yards
math right
times 12 games. I said 750. Y'all made fun of my 1,000, and I was like, no, you're right. 750 sounds better. So that y'all keep saying 1,000. I went down to 750. That's
Well, it
way
took
more
you
realistic.
like 392 days to get you down to 750. So,
No,
Yeah.
no, I did it the day of the show. I did it the day of the show.
And we were trying to talk about it then. We're like, Mikey, 1,000 yards?
I did it the
Like,
day. I did it the day of the show. 750, and that seems a lot more realistic. He's on that pace.
He is. He's one of the best tight ends in the country.
He's on that pace.
Oh my God.
He hadn't even had a big game yet.
No, well,
He had like 90 yards, I think, in a game.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right, let's talk about
I
some of
think
the
it
other,
was UCLA.
let's talk about some of these other teams.
Yeah, I would get out of this LSU conversation.
I've been
over
trying
you
to
too.
for like 2 hours.
I'm just trying to get
But you won't. You won't
No,
let
it's a
me.
big game.
I mean, we've already talked about it.
I'm excited to see if Debo Atkins gets any playing
Here
time
we go.
too. A freshman from
Good God.
he was
bro.
from
What are you
Louisiana,
doing?
moved to Texas.
They always moving
I thought it
on.
was Xavier Atkins.
They call him Debo.
Ah,
Love a good Debo.
yeah. Okay, can we move on? Can I get to the betting
Damian
conversation?
Ramos,
Yes.
15
All
for
right, thank
15
you.
in extra points.
A lot of games.
Somebody put Lloyd on mute.
I know. A lot of games happening this weekend. The biggest one, obviously, is Georgia at Alabama. I'm not sniffing that in the betting world. It's basically a pick 'em. I think Alabama's favored by 1 now. Is that what it was?
Yeah, literally still one. Yeah, still sitting at
Are they
one.
favored by 1 or dogs by 1?
Favors.
I don't
They
know
are.
which ones, but it's
They-
the
no,
number
Georgia's
one is
favored
still
by
sitting
one.
at I wish they'd slap that 0.5 on
I
there.
said Alabama.
Oh.
Georgia's favored by 1. So they are dogs at home. 1-point dogs.
A little interesting tidbit about this game also. Nick Saban was doing his hit for McAfee, and he was in the Alabama building. So don't think he's not in there scheming up what Kirby Smart does and trying to help out Alabama as much as he can.
I mean,
he's
look,
got
he gets to
offers
talk
there.
to
Yeah,
Kirby
he is.
Smart and then
What else
behind the
would he do?
scenes.
This-
You know?
they-
He gets to interview him behind the scenes. He gets to get some extra info. Maybe he's just.
Why does he get to do
You
that?
think he's got enough integrity for not to do that? To not do that?
No.
Because he's not. The colleges are not owned by owners and that are in this like agreement with the NFL. That's why Tom Brady can't do it.
It's the same thing.
No,
How?
I mean competitively on the field, yes, but not with like, not the way they're trying to prevent him from doing it.
If I'm Scott Woodward, I'm
I
calling
mean,
him
at
to
this point,
stink.
it's not really integrity anyway, man. Kirby's been gone for years. Like he ain't been in that building with him.
Yeah, I know, but like you're doing a job
Played
to
each other
gain
last
information
year.
and give them basically insider trading.
Yeah, you talking about going there? Yeah, I'm sure that ain't happening,
Yeah.
bro. I highly doubt that.
No, but that's what Lloyd thinks is happening.
I know it is. Everybody's scared to say anything to Nick Saban. Nobody's going to tell him no.
Are y'all touching that game?
I don't get to watch it.
Now, if it goes up to another half a point, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there another
Not
game?
touching it, sitting at one.
Are there any other games on the slate that are interesting to you? We're not even gonna talk betting yet, just as far as football fans.
I'll pull up the schedule.
Just football.
You got Kentucky at Ole Miss,
That
Minnesota at Michigan.
I think Notre Dame's playing an interesting. I don't truly believe in
Yeah, they
Notre
are.
Dame anyways as like a competitor, but I do think they have a pretty decent opponent. I forget who it is.
Louisville,
There it is.
top 25, top 15.
Which is a
matchup.
team that, that's what I'm saying. It's a team that's supposed to be, one of the premier teams in the ACC, and I don't think they've really played anyone this year yet. So this will be a good one for them.
And Louisville has an opportunity to, if they keep winning, they're probably the only team that's going to be able to maybe potentially compete with Miami for the ACC.
Stop. Clemson's going to compete with them. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson beat them. I'm picking Miami to win that league, but I would not be shocked at all if somehow Clemson wins the ACC.
Are you back on the
It is one
Clemson?
of the
Are you
top
back
four
on
seeds.
that? Are you back on the Clemson?
No, I've never been off of them, man. I
don't love
Georgia
ooey gooey
that
out
first
there.
game, and I do think Georgia's deep.
I mean, it's Florida State.
Wait, time out,
I'm just
time
joking.
out,
I'm
first
joking. I'm
Time out.
joking.
No, he caught
If you're
himself.
asking me
Joking.
Wait, time out. If you're asking me if I believe in Clemson as a legit
Klubnik, I
national
don't believe in
championship
Klubnik.
competitor, hell no. If you're asking me if I think they have a chance to be a top 4 seed because they're going to win that league, hell yes, I do.
Yeah, I
do.
I don't think I said ooey gooey. I meant to say Klubnik. Ooey gooey's at Florida State. Ooey gooey stunk at Clemson anyway. But I don't think Klubnik's all that good either, though.
That he did.
I think
You know?
I think it's more.
He's played a lot better. Go look at his numbers since that Georgia game. He's played a lot better, and I think he's starting to come on a little bit. So they're scoring a lot more. They're playing better ball right now. Let's just put it like that. And the defense, I think, is a lot better than what people think.
And next week, ooey gooey revenge game. Clemson,
Hey.
Florida State.
Hey, if Clemson, they got off the. I mean, Florida State got off the schneid.
That's all they needed.
Just get a win. Just need one.
He's coaching for his job.
I don't
Dude,
think it works the same way in football, but yeah, maybe. You know what I mean?
I am with you on this Clemson thing because everybody points to the Georgia game, which I'll contend it was close at half.
It was.
It was a-
defense can play.
And they obviously lost 34-3 since then, 66-20 against App State, 59-35 against NC State. So they found something offensively.
Yeah.
That
That's what I'm
seemed-
saying. It ain't just them playing defense. They've been scoring. So they figured something out. And I think Clemson's starting to run the ball a lot more, too. So that's helping them as well.
Yeah, I saw. I think
I'm
last
telling you,
week he had like a 55-yard run.
My pick is for Miami to come out of the ACC. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Miami versus Clemson game in the ACC title and Clemson beats them. I wouldn't be
All right.
surprised.
Interesting. Those are the only 3 teams, though: Clemson, Louisville, and.
Because I like watching Cam Ward looking like he's playing a damn walkthrough when he's playing the game right now. Literally, the man is in.
Well, I'm on
I'm
the.
talking like second gear while he's playing back there. It's funny as hell to watch him play.
It's incredible. It looks like he had practice, and he's calling out the play where they're running the football
Yeah.
before the play.
I'm on the Cam Ward train right now because
He don't care.
I keep wanting to bet the overs there, and I want to keep betting the spreads. It's 17.5 again this week. I kind of want to take it. I'm not taking it. I did take the over in the game, but I'm not taking the 17.5 yet. I'm almost convinced myself to do it.
Stanford catching 21.5.
That's the other. Well, let's get to let's just jump into it. The betting conversation, because that's the interesting bet for me. The problem with that is Stanford's going all the way back over to the East Coast, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes. So I think that kind of goes into the 21 points a little bit. But they did win. Was it last weekend they won?
Yeah, upset.
They upset last weekend. So maybe coming off a big
Who did they
game.
beat last weekend?
What?
Said who was it that they beat
Syracuse.
last weekend?
Syracuse. And Syracuse was supposed to. They're ranked. I think they're
Okay,
ranked in the top
yeah.
25
Yeah,
Yeah, they're 25.
at the time. So Auburn's favorite against Oklahoma now at home. Oklahoma's at Auburn. Auburn's favored at home by 1.5.
I'm surprised how
Well-
close that line is. right there.
Well. I said the same thing, and our statistician informed me
Ball nowhere.
that Oklahoma, all
Whoa.
3 or 4 of Oklahoma's starting receivers are out, and a freshman quarterback is starting this week for the first time on the road at Auburn.
And there it is. And there's the explanation. Okay.
And that's exactly what my reaction. And there it is. And that makes sense now.
Yep.
Okay, now it makes sense why the line's where it's at.
I saw that line and I immediately kept scrolling because I'm like, that just don't make any sense right there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that alone.
Let me ask you this. Now, I think I know I've talked myself out of this, but I want to hear your thoughts. Do you like the over/under Colorado at UCF? 61.5.
Man, I'll be honest with you. You could damn near throw 80, and I tell you, I like the over when it
That's
comes
what
to
I'm
playing
thinking.
Colorado playing. I'm not touching it though because, look, I'm gonna be honest. Like when overs start to get that high, it is far and few of them that I'm actually gonna put my money on. But if you're holding a gun in my head and tell me I had to pick it, I'm taking the over right there. Yeah.
Do you like Colorado plus 14?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I don't
I
either.
don't.
Yeah, Saban was talking.
UCF is like one of the three teams. Hey, UCF is one of the three teams that they're picking to win the Big 12. I do think if they're picking UCF as one of the three teams to win the Big 12, and Colorado somehow finds a way to win this game, then they become one of the teams that's in that conversation, right? And I'm not saying that I think they will. I'm just saying that what if? I just don't know. I really don't. So I'm not. No, I don't like that.
I have another interesting game. And this one was the most interesting. And then Lloyd, again, talked some sense into me, but I still find it very interesting, just not quite as interesting as I initially thought. Illinois at Penn State. Penn State's favored by 19.5. Now, I was like, well, because you think of Penn State like, oh, Penn State in years past, they can't score. But the offensive coordinator at Penn State is the same offensive coordinator that came from where, Lloyd?
He came from Kansas.
He came from Kansas, where Kansas' offense was really good last year. Basically the same team, no offensive coordinator. Now their offense stinks. So this guy's there. Obviously, you've seen Penn State kind of make that jump offensively. But 19.5 seems like a lot. I watched Illinois play last week because we had money on it, which is the beauty of gambling. You watch teams that you may not have watched in the past. And I think Illinois is a pretty solid squad. So 19.5 just feels like a lot of points. How do you feel about that game?
I like the over more than I like the actual spread in that game. I think the over was sitting at 48, I believe.
Yeah, I'm looking at ESPN says 47.
I like that. I haven't seen enough of Illinois to actually kind of look at the spread in that one. I know Penn State's always had the I won't say historically. They've always had a good defense. They've obviously scored it a lot better this year, but we've seen some teams kind of break some things on them. So I'm not exactly sure. 19.5, man, 3 touchdowns or damn near 3 touchdowns to me that's large, yo. Like, that's big. Like, 3+ possessions is big. And I'm not sure I feel that way about them. Now, I do think, like I said, I think you can hit the over on that one. I'm just not sure. I'm not settling on that one. I see those two names and those two teams and what I know about them, especially not only in the past, but this year, I'm like, 3 touchdowns plus. I don't know about that.
James
I
Franklin.
don't know about it.
James Franklin's 43-24 when he's favored by 10 or more against the spread.
Okay.
It's a good record.
That's pretty good.
I don't love it.
Lloyd, do you have any? You're the sharp of the group.
Yeah, Jared, do you see how much better Mikey's doing in gambling when he actually listens to us? Instead of he's gotten off his bullish ways.
What do you mean? I gave him my own stuff too.
Yeah, no, but I feel like the more we've talked, the more we've all learned and grown to be better gamblers. But there was a time when the account had cobwebs and dust, and now it's framed and put on the wall.
Agreed.
It's doing good now. It's thriving.
Yes.
The thing is nice right now.
I wouldn't say it's in a better spot than it was.
There was a time in
The
your
game
life,
season.
if you had your phone out on the app and Allie walked by, it was a quick to put on the chest. Now you're walking around the house with the gambling app just open.
We're good. Yeah,
I'm actually a screen sharing to the TV so I can see it better.
Hey, babe, pick one.
Yeah, what do
I
you
got
like?
something to play around
Yeah, what do
with.
you like?
What I like in the college football schedule, are we talking gambling or just in general?
Whatever you want, both.
Okay, I'm still in the Clemson schedule. Hold on, let me get back to where I was.
I have a dog. I'm not gonna bet that they're gonna win outright, but I have a pick that I think
Give it.
for some reason, and I'm not gonna bet it, but just I really can see Arizona beating Utah outright. I don't know why.
Nah, I'm not doing that. You tripping.
On paper and
You
like
tripping.
everything, absolutely not. But I don't know why. I just feel like that could be a game that could be an upset. I'm not touching it betting wise.
See,
I just think that's
this is exactly what you were talking about, Lloyd. This is
No, I
if
just
we
said I
don't have
wasn't-
these conversations now, he would have put money on this and got his ass beat.
this is
I don't like that
never
one
this
at
was
all.
never gonna be a gamble for me ever. Whether y'all talk sense to me or
Now,
not.
yeah, not now.
But I can see, like, if I look up and watch the next
seeing the
morning, 'cause
board
that's-
clearly.
That's a 9:15 game, so I'll probably be sleeping. But I can look up and see Actually, I won't be because LSU will still be playing. But I could look up and see, Arizona beat them by like walk-off field goal or some crazy thing. I could see that.
I am interested in this strictly from an LSU perspective. I'm interested to see how this Kentucky Ole Miss game plays out. I just want to see it's Ole Miss's first real test against a real opponent, and it's obviously their first SEC opponent. Like, you can say Wake Forest is a Power 4 school, but they're not. And Kentucky is an impossible team to figure out at this point, where they get the scoreboard says they got clapped, but that game was closer than you think at South Carolina. And then they have the performance against Georgia, where Georgia drops a game like that every now and again, where they look awful but find a way to win. So I don't know what to make of Kentucky. Ole Miss hasn't played anybody yet.
Well,
I'm not going to crown their asses. Well, you want to crown them? Crown them.
Well,
I would have loved to have seen. I would be right there in that boat with you, Lloyd, if this game was on the road. This one may start slower
for sure
than maybe some of the other ones have for Ole Miss, but I still think they do some dominating kind of stuff in this game just simply because they're at home.
I agree.
When I saw that one too, I looked at it. I'm like, ooh, damn, it's actually an option. So
Right.
I don't really know about that. So that's kind of how I feel about that one.
Which brings us into my next
11
conversation.
a.m. kick.
And we need it to be this way.
You're
We
gonna
need
watch
them
it at
to
the
go
party
and
box?
dominate because for the mic'd up parlay to get to four straight wins, this game has to hit the 16. All right. So we have all of our bets. We put. Can you put them up there
Oh, yeah.
for the mic'd up parlay week 5?
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
There it is. There it is.
So, Ole Miss, Indiana, I love both of those. Obviously, me and Lloyd had a very deep conversation about which ones we wanted to pick and what games we should, and we both ended up going back and forth between Ole Miss and Indiana. So we ended up having both in there. Ole Miss game is mine. I agree that it may not start off like guns blazing, then scoring a whole bunch of points. But I think, by the middle of the second quarter and then through the second half, you're going to start to see them run away because it's at home. It's a morning game. They're going to kind of get going. I like the 16 points. They haven't shown me anything for them not to be able to score, not to be able to extend leads. So that's why I took Ole Miss. The next one is Indiana, which this is a 3-leg parlay if you want to win plus 596 on your whatever unit bet you like to make.
Big unit.
Lloyd, give me why you liked Indiana.
I love Indiana for the simple fact we talked about this off air, where we've been looking at Indiana, keeping an eye on Indiana, and they continue to outplay people. They continue to score a ton of points. They brought in the coach from JMU, who is just knows ball.
Which JMU just keeps churning out coaches. They're doing it again this year.
It's unbelievable. And so when I look at Indiana -7, I just think it was finally time to pull the trigger. And one that barely missed the list, J-Mish, was your last bet that you did on your own parlay, which I wanted to put in, but then we decided, look, that we're all going to do our own homework here. But if you want to add one to it, the over in the Illinois-Penn State game, like we talked about, at 48, I think is a fantastic bet. But I wanted to do my own homework, so I decided Indiana, just because of the amount of points that they've put up. They haven't played in a close game yet, and they just continue to churn out. They've scored, since they started, they scored 31 against FIU, 77 against Western Illinois, beat the brakes off UCLA 42-13. We were all looking at that game going, LSU should run them. Turns out Indiana's good.
Yep.
And then Charlotte 52-14. Maryland coming into the game is 3-1, but the numbers they put up, this is strictly scoreboard watching here, has not been that impressive. You have UConn, who's awful, 50-7 they beat them. Lost to Michigan State, who I don't know anything about. Like, they haven't been the same since they lost Kenneth Walker. Thank God LSU didn't make that higher. They lost 27-24, squeaked past Virginia 27-13, and beat Villanova 38-20. Like, none of those are real runaways for me. So you have Maryland going to Indiana. The only thing that scares me,
Weather.
a little bit of inclement weather. We're getting maybe 1.5 inches of rain, 2 inches tonight, and then another inch tomorrow.
But you know what they say about weather offensively, and Jared can attest to this, and I'll let him talk about it. You have the advantage offensively.
You know where you're going.
You know where you're going, right? So if they're a team that likes to sling it, they have the ability to do that.
That's what they say. Lloyd, pop the parlay back up on the screen for me real quick.
Addict.
But I had a second one that for me was my close second. It is this TCU at Kansas game.
Yeah.
TCU score points. Yeah. They've done that. They've kind of been known to do that for a while. The over-under sitting at 59.5, and you look at Kansas and say, oh, wait, they're not scoring like they used to. Look, they're coming off of 3 straight losses. They're playing at home, and they've been beat 3 straight times. So for me, I'm like, if there's any time for them to actually put up a fight and start playing well again, because in those losses, they gave up 23, 23, and 32. That ain't crazy numbers. So if there's any time for that offense to kind of kick back up, it's against this team, another rival in their conference, I think this would be a great one to do it. It lost for me. I didn't go with that one because it was so hard for me to overlook this 34.5 we're getting with Minnesota at Michigan. Look, Minnesota's averaging a tick over 25 points per game. Michigan last week changed their quarterback because they weren't scoring enough and doing enough on offense. And not like they didn't blow the world up offensively last week, even though they got a win. But this is the perfect time for them to kind of start hitting their stride. That one was too beautiful for me to say otherwise. 34.5 points in that game. I love that bet. That was the bet that I chose in this one right here.
I like that one too. I like the Kansas TCU bet, and then part of the concern for me in that is like, I know we look at Kansas of last year, and they scored all these points and had all these guys, and it's like, when are they gonna start doing that again? My concern is like the offensive coordinator was the one pulling the strings, and they're not doing it. I took the over because I do like it. I think you're right.
But here's the thing too: when it comes to games like that, like usually if you can't score and you're just not a good team, like if I want to be honest, like let's think of like before we started being a prolific offensive school at LSU. It didn't matter if we were playing not good ball clubs. We would never go into games where we were putting up the 48 to 50 points a game. Game 1 they played this year, they played Lindenwood, not a very good school. I get it. But they did put up 48 in that game. So now they lose 23-17 and then 23-20 and then 32-28. I'm like, it's coming. You lose 3 in a row, you get smacked around a little bit, you finally come back home and you're playing home again. This is the time you start putting it up against TCU, somewhat of a rival for them. They played against them for a while in conference. This is the spot. I expect this one to be high flying.
I have a question.
I will say real quick, Jalen Daniels has been a shell of himself.
Yeah.
He's thrown for 148, 141, 153. Coming off his best performance, 184. He's thrown 3, 4, 5, 7 interceptions to 4 touchdowns. So you might get points going the other way.
You might. But you always play more offense and more points. I'm with it.
I do have a question. Where is Lindenwood?
Good question.
I've never heard of that place ever. Never heard of that school.
It's a great question. I'm going to guess it's probably somewhere in the Kansas area.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's got to be.
Don't know for sure, though.
Lindenwood.
St. Charles, Missouri.
So right in the area.
There you go. Close. Yeah.
I like the 35.5. I wonder what the reasoning is.
34.5.
34.5. I'm wondering. That just feels like a very low.
Super low.
Total.
Like crazy low. That feels like an Iowa.
That's an Iowa. Yeah, it is.
Feel right.
I guess they're just not on.
Yeah, you might have found one here because it's not like Minnesota hasn't put up points. They've scored, like I'm saying, like zeros.
They're averaging over 25. They're averaging like 26.5 a game.
And Michigan, weather's going to be fine. And Michigan has scored 25 points a game, too. Like, that's 50.
I like it.
Yeah.
The powers that be might be listening, so stop talking about it so much. But I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what, like...
Are you going to bet it this again? You got to now.
The parlay?
Won. Yeah, you didn't mush us last week after betting it, so we're definitely...
No, it's Mikey the Mush.
I'm not saying anything.
Look at him trying to transfer the name right now.
Dude, you did get brought up on off the bench this morning. Fonz you got asked on Ask the Bench. He's like, T-Bob, I need you to meet your other mush, Mikey the Mush, on Mik'd Up, and he's like, go to hell.
So T-Bob's a mush too?
Because they do a show parlay also, and he's the one that's been losing the leg every time that they try to put a parlay in. So, but you're a winner.
We're winning 4 in a row. I did come out and do the gambling no before last week and guarantee it that I was going to go through, and that is where the mush conversation,
hand up,
took off. It didn't get mushed. We ended up covering. We ended up winning the parlay. I'm not going to do that again because, you don't want to get too cocky. The gambling guys need to kind of be on your side. We put some real hard thought into this conversation, into this.
They reward effort, and we're putting in effort.
We are putting in effort.
That's the hardest I've worked in years.
I'm trying to see some of these like crazy games, like what the odds would look like on them.
Oh, what is the odds on the parlay? Plus 596.
Plus 596.
A mere $10 to win you $59.60.
Oh yeah, they hate Colorado.
Yeah,
So much.
everybody should hate
Yeah,
Colorado.
I'm definitely not touching that.
And this is what Saban was saying.
I would take UCF.
Yeah, absolutely. Gus is going to run up the score on Dion, but I might actually take it. But Nick Saban was saying the way that Colorado won is the worst thing that you can have happen to a team that you don't know if they're good or not.
Oh, really? He said that?
Yeah. He's like, the worst thing you can do is play bad and win because nobody learned anything from it. There was no lesson learned there.
That's a great point.
You still think you're good. It's like if you lose that game, you have a totally different mentality going into the week. But you win like that, you're like, yeah, like we feel ourselves a little bit. We're good.
Yeah.
And so he was saying that's the most dangerous thing you can
Dion
do.
did start practice over on like Tuesday. So
He did?
They completely started practice over, so they was already seeing some of the complacency, if you will. So like that's the thing. It's real.
That's not good.
Is there anything worse?
Any time where you have to restart practice, that's happened a couple times on the baseball side, and that's never
it's even
good.
Worse it's even worse on the football side when it comes on the like the work days, the days where you know the practice is long and you got to start it over. Oh no, not good.
Like, if they start the whole thing over, like, back into stretch line, like, pads off, stretch line, pads back on, and you're like, we're going to be out here forever.
It's not where you want to be.
And it's usually warranted. You may not like it, but it's usually for a reason.
Oh, no, you know it's coming.
You can feel it in the air.
You start getting pissed off.
There's somebody that's doing it all right who's trying to nudge a couple other people, but they see it coming, and as soon as it happens, they're like,
damn
it, man. I knew it was coming.
You see it like it's dead, it's sloppy, it's like the easiest stuff's being messed up over and over, and then you start getting the coaches start getting more pissed off, and you're like, damn, just don't do it again, just don't do it again, and it happens again, and it's like nobody gives a. Oh, dude, it's the worst. Oh, it's the worst.
There it is.
One more game before we really talk to we talk about our predictions and the other type stuff. Arkansas at A&M. Arkansas is +6. Do you like A&M in that? Or do you like Arkansas?
That game is such a stay away for me.
I saw this one again, man, and I'm staying away from that, man. There's something in me that says I can see shootout in this ball game, or I can see a 21-17 type of ball game. I ain't touching that. Not with a 10-foot pole, bro.
The betting community, they really love A&M in that. A lot of the money is on A&M. Most of the money is on A&M. So, I don't know. That's another interesting game to watch, though. Because A&M's supposed to be, obviously, they're trying to figure out their quarterback position. Arkansas has been very kind of relevant lately, but their quarterback is starting to play really well, kind of putting them in a situation where they feel like they can win some games. That's gonna be an interesting one to watch too.
One that barely missed the parlay. I like to ride the hot hand, as I did with Boston College. We jumped ship at the right time. Navy might be.
But you thought it was a trap. I was the first game I brought up to you.
Navy's 3-0. They score a fuck ton of points. They're going up against UAB, who's 1-2, and the spread was what?
33.5.
They're catching 33?
No, 3.5.
Yeah.
Navy's favored by 3.5.
We might have changed the graphic.
We already bet it. You maybe bet 2 parlays now?
We already bet it. No, that's you. That's you on the side, bro. We already bet it.
My official pick is Indiana for all the reasons I said. I love it. But Navy is getting thrown in a separate parlay.
Yeah, why? That confuses me.
Is that? I'm gonna check. I'm gonna do some.
It's 3.5.
What do we have? A dishonorable discharge or something?
Does UAB's defense really good or something?
UAB.
I don't know a thing about UAB this year, so that's why I stayed away from it. I mean, I can remember a couple of years ago they were in jeopardy of losing the football program, so it's hard for me to say, yep, that's who I'm betting on right now. So I don't know.
Navy beat them 31-6 last year, and Navy's better this year.
I don't know.
I'm checking that. Continue.
No, it is 3.5. I'm telling you.
I believe you, but I don't believe it.
You want to get into the predictions of score predictions for the weekend?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
What you got?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. Lloyd's
Jump to 4.
what's
This
that?
is crazy.
It's
It's
4. No, it's going up to 4.
Yeah, it's a jump.
Because people are like, wait, this is crazy. Why are we
It
not?
smells like a trap, but sometimes that cheese, you can still get it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, they lose the cheese all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If you're greedy enough.
What's the? Let's see what. Yeah, I
This
mean,
is crazy.
percentage of the best. They don't even have the money, but the percentage of the
Probably
bets.
can't fit it on the screen.
Percentage of the best. Navy
100.
75%.
Oh, you know what it is?
What is it?
Big look ahead spot. Navy Air Force next week.
I just.
I think it's still probably worth about 14.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, I
It
don't
will
know
be
about
the
that.
first time if Navy wins and Air Force wins that they have been, both teams have been undefeated since World War II.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I'll-
they
I'll
both
wa-
won that one.
That's awesome. That needs to happen. Actually, that needs to happen.
And I think that's where you lose the cheese. I got the cheese, and that's
Oh
where
no!
they're
I
not
watched that game at a pure country pride
Yeah.
for my country right there. Undefeated teams going after each other.
nothing but respect.
Maybe it's a bad. Hopefully, it's not a bad omen.
That's what they call a look ahead spot.
The last time they go undefeated, they played each other. It was World War II. Hopefully,
They won that game too.
yeah, but you don't want to get into World War III. Is what I'm saying. It's the next time you don't want it to be that.
Oh yeah,
they only do it in World Wars.
there's some grumblings going on that people are
Yeah, you don't want that.
they're
All
firing
right, LSU prediction.
behind the scenes. They're firing up
What you
the
got? The button.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's in a case. They put the keys in it.
In the predictions in this game, I'm going to go with 45-20. LSU wins this ball game.
Right at the over/under number.
45-20.
Lloyd.
I think I said 45-21 this morning.
I love that one too.
So we're kind of thinking the same thing there, J. Mitch.
Okay, so 45-20, 45-21. Price is right. One up.
46.
No. I mean, I do like
22.
the 45 numbers. I do like.
We've been found.
We've been found. 1 second.
He said, "Quit talking about Navy."
Yeah. I like the 45. Let's go 48-21.
Couple good round numbers. No. Yeah, sure.
48-23.
24. Oh, 2 field goals.
Go
3 field goals.
Yeah. Get down there. Tighten up in the red zone.
45-20.
I love
48-23.
them. So
Just
that's
to make
what.
sure-
That's the output I'm looking for from this defense right here.
Yep.
I need to make sure the over hits.
Maybe 2 field goals. Like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 tutties, miss a field goal. 45-20.
All right.
So not upset alert,
Not upset.
like we said. Y'all
No.
can tune out
Yeah,
now
just
if
like that.
that's why you were here.
Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah.
You got mistake of the day?
Oh yeah, let me pull it up. I got to get these bets in because I am in a fever pitch.
What?
Fever pitch. Have you ever,
I know, but what? Why? For about what?
the Navy game.
Yeah, but you got time to get the bets in.
I know. I just had it open on my phone.
It's not like skyrocket to like 15 points and make it tough for you to bet.
I mean, there's a lot to start moving. You want to be on the right side of history. How do you open up messages on? Oh, here you go. So I sent them all to myself on Twitter. So, mistake of the day. I have 2, but this is the first one that I don't have to play on the screen. But the geniuses at LAPD they're in a pickle, a bit of a pickle, Dick, as they went into a medical diagnostic clinic thinking it was a front for a drug center, and I'll read you what happened.
Oh my God!
The owners of
this sounds amazing.
The owners of NoHo Diagnostic Center are suing the LAPD. The city of Los Angeles reports as multiple police officers alleging that they violated the business owner's constitutional rights and demanding an unspecified amount in damages. So they're suing the LAPD. Officers allegedly raided the diagnostic center located in the Van Nuys neighborhood of Los Angeles, thinking it was a front for an illegal cannabis cultivation facility, pointing to a higher than usual energy use and the distinct odor of cannabis plants. Continued. At one point, an officer walked into an MRI room, passed a sign warning that metal was prohibited inside with his rifle dangling in his right hand with an unsecured strap, the lawsuit said. The MRI's machine's magnetic force allegedly sucked his rifle across the room, pinning it against the machine and into
Oh my God.
MRI machines are obviously strong magnetic forces. That's why you can see images that you're not supposed to see, your brains, bones, joints, and other internal organs. An officer then allegedly pulled
Is that why?
Yeah. An officer then allegedly pulled a sealed emergency release button that shut down the MRI machine, damaging it, which is expensive. Yeah, deactivating it, evaporating thousands of liters of helium gas, and damaging the machine in the process. The officer then grabbed his rifle, left the room, leaving behind a magazine filled with bullets on the office floor. He just ran out in embarrassment.
Wow.
I think they're going to win that suit.
I imagine they're probably going to win. How does that? So
That's crazy.
Well, have they come out and explained why they had a higher than normal?
That would be the MRI machine.
Well, I thought they said smelling of cannabis.
I don't know. I think that was their reason to go in.
They just made it up.
Yes.
Got it.
But
That's a wild mistake of the day.
yeah, I read that. I was like, I hate that I have to read them on the screen.
Yeah, but that was.
But that was a story that I read, and I was like, this could not have been more bungled. And then the next mistake of the day is audio and visually pleasing. And by pleasing, I mean absolutely not. This is a song that everybody loves. Every band loves to play it.
I should have sent you the video that happened yesterday in Destrehan.
What happened?
Some dude was definitely on some crazy drugs, and he thought he was in a whole different universe. He was running around naked, stole a car, we did donuts in a parking lot of the car, hit this jacked up truck, flips it, gets out of the car, and starts running down the highway like this, naked, celebrating. I got to show it to you.
What a high.
It was pretty wild.
And this is what happened at good old Louisiana Tech, I guess celebrating their big win last week.
Wait, why are they doing that? Do they know that, like...
This is disgusting.
Why are they doing that? It makes me feel. It gives me like the very uneasy feeling in my stomach. Like that's kind of embarrassing.
I believe, yeah, that's when you get secondhand embarrassment. You're like, oh God.
Why are we doing that?
Why are they saying suck that tiger dick, bitch?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to be said.
No.
Or do they try to remix it and say what? Are they the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That would be awful. Sidebar.
That's tough. Don't love that. Great mistake of the days.
Thank you.
Current Call is brought to you by our friends at Perkins McKinsey. What we got? You got one? I have one. You want me to go mine first?
Jared, if you don't have one, I have one for you.
Go ahead. Run it.
Your Chicago White Sox, that were one game away from setting the most losses in MLB history, have reeled off 3 straight victories. And if they win all 3 this weekend, they will avoid going into the record books.
Hey,
It seems like they finally have
So-
something to play
They're
for.
fighting for
6
something.
straight.
They need 6 straight. They got 3 down.
They're
Do we
fighting.
think it's gonna happen?
Who are they playing?
I think so.
Who are they playing?
I don't know.
Look, at least they're fighting for something.
How
You know
funny
what I
is
mean?
that? Like we're trying to make this fun. Then you finally look up. You're like, we ain't going down in history like this.
They
Finally,
play.
picked a good time.
They play Detroit. They're at Detroit.
Oh,
Not gonna do. Detroit's fighting for the playoffs too, so they're out. If
Yep.
they swept Detroit and kept Detroit out of the playoffs, that's embarrassing for Detroit.
wow.
That would be bad. All right.
That would be so embarrassing.
That would be so
Detroit.
bad. Hey, you just got to win one of these games. You're playing the worst team maybe in the history of baseball, and they swept you, and with you being right there in the cusp of making the wild card, that'd be tough.
And Detroit's fired up. Did you see that video?
Oh, Detroit is an unbelievable baseball town, and I'm very happy. I'm very jealous that we did not get to do that when I was there because it is. I've heard awesome stories about playoff baseball in Detroit. It's freezing cold, but you know, you got current call.
I do. It's a 2-parter because, as you know, the floods that are happening, there is They have touchdown in Georgia also, where they've got a ton of rain. And these guys are going to the Georgia-Alabama game in Tuscaloosa. And his buddy
You're going to Georgia, Bama?
is across the way, and they need to go get him. So he's going to the game.
So you're saving your friend who's trying to get to the game?
And we're going to Tuscaloosa.
So
Where's
they're
he
packed
at?
up the car. They've got to go pick up their buddy.
Did Water Rescue not get them?
He's right there. See him waving.
He's all the way over there.
I
so
love
you're
this.
Trying to
Yeah.
save him.
So he's
You're
going
trying
to
to
get
get
him because they're
Georgia.
going to the game.
Yeah, he's got his bags packed. He just can't get across.
Are you a Dogs fan?
I am.
Okay, so this is how dedicated you are.
So
as
he
a
gets
Dogs fan.
the raft.
You're gonna go save
Please
your
tell me he
friend.
makes it there.
Oh, there's a second part.
There's only work. The raft seems the raft seems very small for what they're trying to accomplish.
For where he's trying to get to.
He's getting there, and one person, great. Two people and bags. Seems like it's that's gonna be a little complicated. No, oh, there it is. There we
Ain't
go.
no way.
He's in. He doesn't trust it. Gets back out. Pumps it back up. But
This
They
is
made it.
dedication.
Went and got
Two
his
Georgia
boy.
Bulldogs
And
fans
they're both
trying to make it
paddling
to
now.
the
This man
Alabama
looks like
game.
the captain of the ship,
He's
dude.
got, there
I
you go. Switch sides.
And they're off.
Look at the teamwork and the paddling.
Wow.
And then the whole neighborhood is in on it because there's nothing else to do. Nobody got power. And so look when they,
Oh my goodness.
so they don't have to go all the way across. Run out of steam. Run out of steam. Into the current. Into the current.
Wait, where are we going? Oh no, is it gonna be bad? Is it gonna turn into a disaster?
No, good Samaritan. Come here, boys.
Neighbors helping each other.
Oh, this is a beautiful thing.
Go dogs. Dogs by a million.
There's a
And then look at all these people
Everybody
watching.
This is amazing.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
I thought that was
Oh,
awesome.
you know what? I didn't take into account.
in a game like that.
He's got his bag. He put it in
Yeah.
a trash bag. Classic move.
I didn't take into account like, oh yeah, they're going to the game. It's not like they're going to like some vacation. Like they're gonna have a backpack of clothes and that's it.
Yeah, and
Alright, that
have the
makes
best time ever. Like, dude, can you come get me? Like,
Great.
yeah, you're coming to the game, dude.
I love that.
Love it, boys.
I respect the dedication. My curtain call is to if you watched, I understand why you probably don't know. I sometimes forget that it's going on, but the WNBA's playoffs. I don't mean this in a mean way. It's just there's football's going on, and the WNBA playoffs are going on right now. And Caitlin Clark got beat, and so she is out of the playoffs. 2.5 million viewers, most ever in a WNBA game. I think that's pretty cool. Interesting to see what it looks like now that she's no longer in the playoffs. What is the viewership like then? But shout out to that. I think that's pretty cool. One player can kind of bring that type of excitement to
They made the playoffs.
entirely.
Does
Yeah.
every team make the play?
No.
And they're obviously were the worst team in the league last year.
Yeah. They made the playoffs. They lost in the first round, but they made the playoffs. So, thought that was pretty cool. All right, that's all we got for you today. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the LSU game. Enjoy college football. Enjoy the NFL football. We didn't even get to the Saints conversation, but you know that's for another time. We'll talk.
Alvin Kamara broken ribs.
Nope. Is he?
Yeah, trying to play.
Wow. Hope he plays.
Coach, you finished the game last week.
Yeah, and he's back. And he's back at practice. He's been at practice. Taysom Hill will be
no,
back.
he says, I want to play.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. We'll recap.
No, I'm
it
just
on
saying,
Monday.
like as like a thought process. Like if I see you finish the game, there's probably a good chance you're playing the next.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Lloyd. You going to the game?
Yes.
All right.
will.
I'll see you out there.
I would like for LSU to put this thing away very
So
quickly.
you could go and watch the Georgia game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might be a.
There's a chance that I go out there and tailgate and then I go home and watch the games.
You want your
Plural.
tickets? You want to pass them?
I don't have any tickets
Oh.
yet,
Yeah.
but I haven't
Okay.
looked for any.
Just me and the pops. If you want to treat them.
I can find any. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Jared, enjoy Dallas. We'll see you on Monday. Everybody enjoy the weekend. We appreciate you. If you like our show, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If not, you want to listen to us, we're anywhere you get your pods. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.
Go Tigers.